channel, and if you're new around here, hi, my name's Mackenzie. I love making Disney World trip vlogs, Disney tips and tricks videos, and today I'm kicking off a brand new Walt Disney World planning series. I am so excited to be taking you guys along for the trip planning process for my trip coming up in December. I just realized I show you guys a lot of like my vlogs while I'm in the park and maybe the week or so leading up to our Disney trip. There's so much that goes into planning a Disney trip before that. So today we're gonna be starting with a 60-day until Disney vlog. We are 60 days, well 61 days from my trip, which I'll get to in a second. But I'm gonna take you guys along for this process, what I'm doing at the 60-day mark. I think I'm also gonna take you guys along on the 1 month until Disney and then like the week before Disney possibly, along with all the other videos I like to do. So I think it's gonna be really fun and hopefully it gives you a little insight if you're planning a Disney trip, how I plan and what are some of the important things to remember when you're planning your trip, like at all these big milestones before your trip. So, like I said, we are at the 60-day mark until Disney World, and I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about this trip because I haven't said much about it. This is probably the trip that I've been the most excited for out of any Disney World trip I've ever taken. I'm heading to Disney World this December with my family, an extended family. It's gonna be a trip with my husband, my mom, my dad, and my sister. Then my uncle Shane and Mikey are coming, so it's like a big family trip. There's 7 of us. It's something that we've been talking about for the last like 2 or 3 years or so, but just trying to find a time where like everyone can get off work and everyone can be there. It was really hard, but December was finally a time where everything just like lined up. We're going to Disney World. I could not be more excited. Like this trip is just, it's so much fun, and it just makes my heart so happy that all of my family is getting to go. So with that being said, I've done a lot of really intense planning to make sure this trip is exactly what everyone wants it to be, and to make sure I'm accounting for all the different members in our group. It's 3 different households going. It's a lot to coordinate, but it's been a lot of fun. So what is on the agenda today as far as 60 days out? First things first, like I said, we're 61 days out. That's because there's a couple things I need to do before I hit that 60-day mark when I can book dining and other things. First things on the to-do list is today, we're gonna be finalizing our park plans. Now, obviously we have a rough idea of what park we're going to which day and everything, but I just need to lock in those plans. That way when I go to make my idea for dining and like what dining we wanna book, I'm booking dining based on the park days that we're there and not like booking dining in a different park when we're in one other park. So we're not having to like park hop just to eat. I'm just someone that likes to book my dining around my trip and not my trip around my dining, if that makes sense. So we got to make a plan and finalize those park plans, and also like the rough park hours are out, so I need to go in and put those in and just make sure all of our park ideas still line up. Second thing we're going to be doing today is creating a game plan for booking Disney dining. Disney World dining opens 60 days in advance. It opens at 6 a.m. Eastern time, so Disney World time. So that's 5 a.m. here for me in Central time. And I have seen before, like it opens up sometimes at like 4:45, so like 5:45 there. So we just like to be prepared. I like to go in with a game plan, and we need to kind of figure out that game plan now. I'll talk through some tips I have for you guys if you're booking Disney dining, like the way to do it, and then like what to do if you don't get the dining you want. We're gonna cover all that. And then tomorrow is the big day, the booking Disney dining day. That's the next thing on the list. And along with booking Disney dining, just because, you know, that's not hard enough, for this trip we are planning on doing some like enchanting extras, is what Disney World calls them. 2 of those things are the Savi workshop, the lightsaber building, and droid building. So those are 2 things that you can book starting 60 days in advance. I was like seeing conflicting reports on when this opens up, but I just chatted with someone on the Disney World website, and she told me that it opens 60 days from when you check into your hotel, and it opens for your entire stay. So that's something I didn't know. It's something I will confirm with you guys. If it's wrong, I'm gonna just like put a disclaimer on the screen to ignore everything I'm saying. So we have a lot of working parts, a lot of things moving, and we gotta get a plan before we do all that. So that's today. Tomorrow is the booking, and then after the booking, I do have a little Disney store haul for you guys. A very small haul, but still something I wanted to include in this video. That is the plan. That is everything that I'm hoping to get done in this 60-day mark. Obviously, we've done a little bit of planning beforehand, just booking our hotel and our park tickets, but the 60-day mark is really when I feel like everything starts to get real, because you're starting to plan everything for your park days. So that is our agenda, and I think the plan for me now is to get onto my Disney World planning spreadsheet that I've made on Canva, start inputting like the park plans, what parks we're gonna do which day, put in all the park hours that I can find, and then I'll show you guys what I come up with, like the rough draft that we go into booking our dining plans with. with. So I'm gonna work on this. I cannot wait. This is so much fun. I love just like figuring out what parks we're gonna do. Like it just makes everything feel so real. I feel like it's been such a concept of a Disney trip for so long, and like, yes, we've been paying on it and stuff, but this is when it starts to feel real. So I'm gonna work on this real quick, and then I will check in with you guys in just a second and show y'all what I came up with. So let's get to it. Let's get to Disney planning. Okay, yes, I do have a Disney World Christmasscape YouTube video on in the background. It just makes sense. But here is the spreadsheet that I was talking to you guys about that I made on Canva. Really easy, just made a table and then added in the times over here. Just start at 7 a.m. because we are not waking up earlier than that, except on travel day. And then I go to midnight. And then up here is where I normally put the dates of our trip. I just deleted them. I will share our dates as it gets closer, but just not yet. And then down here, I have the park hours for each day. I have parentheses, which means early entry time because we tend to do early entry. So I have that on there. And then I do have here like what days Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is and the Jollywood Nights, just so I can kind of keep track of that. But yeah, this is the spreadsheet. It starts off with the color-coded parks and park days. And then as I book dining and everything else, I'll add it into this spreadsheet. So I have everything here and can kind of keep track of what we want to do and what our plans are. So I asked you guys over on Instagram one time, like how y'all color code your Disney like trip spreadsheets or trip plans. It was honestly like so enlightening and so funny just to hear how everybody associates like different colors with different places. But for me, I am a Magic Kingdom blue, Hollywood Studios like a reddish pink color, Animal Kingdom is green, Epcot is purple, and then Disney Springs is like an orangish yellow. That's just how I do it. But anyway, so now that I have my park plans figured out, I know what park we're going to on which day, and that'll really help me book dining. Of course, our group has already talked about what restaurants we're interested in trying, like which ones we really do want to try to go for. So now I just need to write down what day we're planning on going to each restaurant so I can have a game plan going into dining. So that's what we're gonna work on now, is just our dining game plan. I'm gonna write it all out, and then I'll talk to you guys my tips for this, because there are a couple tips that I feel like sometimes people don't know or don't think about. But yeah, I'm gonna drink this drink. I have some tea because Disney planning, it's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work, but it's like really fun work too. I'm having like the best time with my little scape up on the background. When I'm not filming, I have the Disney music going, which is just great. And now I'm really excited to work on dining because to us, to my family, it's a very important aspect of our Disney World trips. All right, so I wanted to show what I was writing down furiously. This is my Disney dining rough draft plan. So again, I have my park plans in front of me with the park hours, and then I just started writing down what we're doing each day, where we're planning on eating dinner, and then in these parentheses, I kind of put the time frame that we're wanting to get the reservation for. So again, I'll add in the dates here, just like after I'm done filming this, but this is kind of what I do for my rough draft. So from this plan, I kind of figure out what order I'm going to book dining in. So this is the most important thing, because I think a lot of times people going into dining, if you're new to doing a Disney dining or you haven't done it very much, you think like, why don't I just book in order? Like that makes the most sense. However, some reservations at Disney are a lot harder to get than others. For example, we are wanting to do Topolino's Terrace for like a fireworks time frame to where we can eat dinner, go out on the balcony at the Riviera and watch the fireworks. That is going to be a very, very difficult reservation to get because Topolino's is very, very popular, but also we're a group of 7. So it's not going to be the easiest reservation to get. So even though that is in the middle of our trip, when I sign in at 5 a.m., that's the reservation I'm going for first, which gets a little confusing. So I like to write it out in order first, what dinner we're planning on going on each day. And then from this piece of paper, I take it. And then on the next page, I will put like in order my bookings. So it's going to be out of order date-wise, but it'll be in order as like what bookings I need to book. Does that make sense? I feel like dining is very complicated for some reason, but I just pick based on what is the hardest reservation to get first, and then I work my way down. You might be wondering, like, what is hard to book? I don't know. I've never done this before. Topolino's really hard to book. I've had trouble with places like Be Our Guest before. Any of that like kind of signature dining experiences, I have trouble booking. Another tip that I have, that if you're kind of like, I don't know what's going to be popular during my trip or my season that I'm going, I sometimes will get on either the website or on my phone and just browse the dining availability a couple of days before the trip, because those dates are already open. They've already been picked through through a little bit, and I can kind of see what's still available at what restaurants and base my plan a little bit based on that. So for example, I was scrolling today, there were a couple of restaurants on here that I'm planning on booking, like 50's Primetime Cafe at Hollywood Studios. I mean, it was completely open for like all the days leading up to our trip, so I feel like that's probably gonna be my easiest reservation to book. Even though it's on our second day of our trip, I'm not gonna book that until probably last, because that's just how the order is gonna work as far as, you know, what's gonna be the hardest to book. So another tip I have, I write everything down on paper, because you're gonna be on your computer or sometimes on your phone, because sometimes the Disney World booking website does not work well, so I have to switch to my Disney Experience app. What I've found before is if I use like something like I'm looking at my spreadsheet or I'm looking at notes on my computer, it's really hard to switch in between the screens when you're trying to book, and you really want to be efficient. So having it written down on a piece of paper, having that in front of you with your computer in front of you, your phone in front of you in case you need to switch, I just feel like makes it a little bit easier and helps me keep track of everything. I can like write down the times as I book them instead of going to put them in my spreadsheet right away. Write everything down on the paper and then I can input in everything later. Those are kind of my two big tips. Book based on difficulty, not based on day you're going, and then write everything down on paper so you're able to kind of go between whatever booking platform you're using efficiently and quickly. I think that is all my tips. Like I said, now I'm just gonna go through and kind of structure out my game plan for going into 5 in the morning tomorrow. I do tend to wake up around 4:30, so I'm like on my computer ready for 4:45. I can go ahead and just like open everything, see if it did happen to open those 15 minutes early, and if not, I'm just ready to go for 5 a.m., you know, whenever everything is supposed to open. Same goes with the lightsabers and droids. According to the chat that I had today, she said it does open at 6 a.m. Eastern time as well. I have heard before sometimes that opens at midnight, so I will let you guys know what is actually the case. But my plan for that, I'm not as worried about booking those because there is a lot of availability for the Savi's workshop and the droid building. The only reason we're really booking reservations in advance for particularly the droid is just because we're planning on doing both in the same day, and we really want to book a specific time. That way we're not having to wait longer than we like expected or anything for like a walk-up reservation to be available. I know that you can walk up to the droid workshop pretty easily because I've seen a lot of people do it, but I definitely recommend getting a reservation for the lightsabers. There is sometimes walk-up availability, but not often. So definitely book that, and that opens again, she said, 60 days in advance from your check-in date, which we will see if that is true or not. With that being said, I think that's everything I have to do today on my 61-day mark. I'd like to have all this figured out and planned out the day before I book dining or a couple days before I book, because you don't want to go in blind and just go in and start guessing like, oh, I think we might want to eat here, I'll just book this day. Because like I said, I think it's really helpful to book your dining around your trip and not your trip around your dining. You don't want to book your dining and then have to change your park plans or be park hopping to a totally different park just to go eat. So that is everything I have for today. I will see you guys tomorrow morning bright and early. Hopefully we can get the dining that everybody in my party wants, fingers crossed. But regardless, I will check in with you guys after, let you know what we got, what times, and then I'll let you know too if I didn't get something that I was hoping to get, what my strategy and my plan is for that. Like I said, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow to book our Disney World dining. Feels so real. Like it's starting to hit me. It's just our trip is almost 60 days away. All right, we have a late night update. It is 11:05 p.m. Central Time, so it's midnight Eastern Time, and our 60-day window technically opened at midnight, but you can't book dining until 6 a.m. But I got a text from my uncle that said that he was just browsing just to see availability for the day before, and the Savi Workshop lightsaber building is open. So it opens at midnight. It did open for the entire 60 days of our trip from our check-in day, so we were able to book it for like any day within our trip that we're staying. But yeah, it was open. Availability wide open, because on the Disney website today they did tell me it was 6 a.m. So I don't know if people just assume it opens at 6 a.m. and haven't booked. I do know you do have to pay in full when you're booking Savi's workshop, so it is the full price you're paying. So I think that does help reservations a little bit, because you have to be pretty sure that you're going to do it, because you're paying the fee to book it, the $249, and then there's tax on top of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and book this for Madison because I know how bad she wants to do it. Mikey is gonna do it, and then Madison's gonna do it, and they can each bring a guest, and you're allowed one guest. So those are the two people that are gonna be building the lightsabers, which I think is gonna be so fun, and I can't wait to show you guys that in the vlog. But with that being said, I'm gonna book this, and then I'm gonna go to sleep because we wake up in like 4.5 hours to book dining. So I will see you guys then. Good night, everybody. Good morning, everyone. It is 4:35 in the morning. I'm very tired. We are gonna get all logged in. Can't even talk. We're gonna get it all logged in and signed in. This slide is very bright. Let's turn that down. And try to book our Disney World dining. We're officially 60 days until Disney World, which is really fun to wake up to. So sorry my voice sounds like this too. Hopefully you can hear me because I'm being kind of quiet. But I have my little spreadsheet here that has the order I'm booking in, everything together. Feeling really good about it. Just want to remind you guys, my wisdom at 4:35 in the morning, that dining isn't everything. So if you don't get something you want, or maybe, you know, it doesn't work out the time you want, it's gonna be okay. So just remember that. I'm gonna go ahead and just, like I said, get ready. So excited. So anyway, wish me luck. Here we go. I'm all signed in. Like I said, I like to check at 4:45 Central Time, so 5:45 Eastern Time, just to see if anything opens, because I found sometimes it does open like 15 minutes early. I like to have my phone ready just in case the browser doesn't work for some reason, because sometimes it kind of lags out, I guess, with everybody getting on. Another thing to have with you when you're booking dining is your credit or debit card information. Mine is saved on file, and I know mine by memory, which isn't great, but they do ask you, you have to have a card for booking, so just keep that in mind. So here we go. It's gonna be fun. Wish me luck. Let's do this. Okay, so I think I'm done booking dining for now. I'm gonna go through and just maybe modify a couple of the times, see if there's anything available. I like to check immediately after I book, because sometimes people will drop a reservation if they see something that they wanted. I have a lot of thoughts, a lot of tips, a lot of things I learned through this booking experience. It is now 5 a.m. my time, so 6 a.m. Disney time. I'm gonna head to bed and then wake back up, and I will check in with you guys later. We will have a lot to discuss, but successful dining booking. I'm so happy. All right, so we have the resort mug in hand. It is now 10:10. I'm awake enough to talk to you guys about my experience of booking everything last night. We were officially, first of all, 60 days until Disney, and it's just making me so happy. My family was waking up, texting each other about our reservations and stuff. It's just, I'm so excited. So with that being said, I want to run through what we got, my experience, kind of what I learned from this, because I did learn a couple of things. So cheers. Let's talk Disney dining, Disney bookings, 60 days until Disney. So like I talked about, the hardest reservation that I had to get was Topolino's Terrace. Now, what happened was the Disney dining booking opened at 6 a.m. Eastern time, which was 5 a.m. my time. It opened right at 6 a.m. Eastern, so I got on and I went for Topolino's first. Clicked 7 people the day we were looking for, and there was absolutely no reservations for Topolino's for that day. So instead of trying to refresh, I just went ahead and went to my next one, which was Tepinado, which I did get for my sister's birthday, so I'm really excited about that. Happy birthday, Madison. But after I booked Tepinado, I was like, gosh, we really want Topolino's. Let me just try one more time. So I went back to Topolino's, same day for the reservation, 7 people, and there was 5 things available. So I don't know if maybe people had clicked on it right at 5 and they were taken, because it does hold your reservation for I think 5 or 10 minutes. And maybe they got released. I don't know what happened, or maybe someone changed their time and just availability opened up. So I would say that's a pretty good tip, that if you maybe didn't get your reservation on your first shot, try again at some point in your dining booking just to see if maybe someone released their reservation or what. So I was able to get that. So I got Topolino's, I got Tepinado. We're gonna eat dinner at Steakhouse 71, which I'm really excited about. I also got a reservation for Oga's Canteen for our Star Wars fans in the group to go to a little Star Wars bar and just have a fun drink. I think that's gonna be really great. And then I got a reservation for our last day for lunch at Homecoming in Disney Springs. So I was able to get all of the reservations that we had planned on getting. The only thing I did experience is, because we were a group of 7, I feel like the time availability was a lot less than normal. For example, 50's Primetime Cafe, which is normally a very easy reservation to get and has all kind of times available. There was only a couple spots for our party of 7, and after I did all the booking, I just went back to see, is it because we're a group of 7? And so I only did 5 people, and every single time was available. So I think with larger parties, you're gonna have to go in knowing that it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to book. Thinking about the layout of 50's Primetime Cafe, there's really not that much space for 7 top tables. A lot of them are 4 top or 2 top even. So I feel there's more availability from that 2 to 6 range, and then everything else is kind of a little bit more difficult to get a spot for. So for that reservation, for example, I was able to get the day that we wanted, but the time is a little bit later than we were expecting for 50's Primetime. So what I I'm gonna do is I'm either gonna just check the app, the My Disney Experience app, just check for availability through there, or there are a bunch of other apps that you can get on to kind of send you alerts when dining becomes available. I've used the app Mouse Dining before. There is a free version of that where you can get email subscriptions only. So if you have like your email notifications on, I feel like that could be really helpful. There's also an app called Stakeout that I've heard a lot of really good things about. And basically you just are inputting what dining reservation you're looking for, around what time, and it will send you alerts when something becomes available. You do have to get on pretty quickly and grab it, but it does help you not have to be browsing the app the whole time. So if I don't get something dining wise that I want, or I don't get a time I want, I use one of those apps, or I just am like refreshing the Disney Experience app kind of randomly, just seeing if there's any new times available. I did want to talk really quickly about my experience booking lightsabers, because I chatted with 2 different people on the DisneyWorld.com website, and they both told me that the lightsabers open up from 60 days of your check-in for your entire trip, which was true. However, one person told me they open at 6 a.m. Eastern, the other person told me 7 a.m. Eastern. So my uncle Mikey and I just kind of decided like we were just gonna check randomly throughout the night. He works night shifts, so he was checking, and he texted me, and they opened at 12 a.m. Eastern time. So I mean, I was up getting the lightsabers too, but that was 6 hours that difference, and they told us. So I don't know if that's always the case. I would definitely, if you're up, just check at 12 a.m. Eastern time to see, because ours was definitely available. I will say availability was like really easy to get. I think because you do have to book in full when you're booking the lightsabers, you have to pay the full price. It kind of deters people from just like grabbing a spot and holding a spot until they decided they're gonna book. We also didn't end up booking droids just because we weren't certain the people that wanted to do it still wanted to. So we're gonna kind of decide on that later. There's so much availability for droids, and like I said, I've seen a lot of people just walk up and do them. So that's kind of our plan for that. But yeah, that was our dining booking everything process. What I like to do now in the morning when I'm more awake, I'm gonna go in and take those times and input everything into my spreadsheet, just so I kind of have a layout of what our trip is looking like so far. And then when we get to that 30-day mark, there's some more fun things I do with that. So be sure to stay tuned for that video. I think that was going to be really fun and even more exciting because we're even closer to our trip. But with that being said, let me put this down back here. I do want to open one thing that I got from the Disney store. It's a little mini haul. I told you guys it's not big at all, but it's probably the most important thing that I will bring with me on this trip. We got our magic bands, and I'm so excited to open them up and just see what they look like. I got my husband and I's magic bands sent here. I think my family bought some too. Madison definitely did, my sister, so those are there. But here are ours. I've never had a Magic Band Plus before, so I'm very excited if I can open this box. Okay, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah! Look how cute they are. I can't even see them. Oh my gosh, I love them. Magic Band Plus, I finally made the upgrade. So my husband Bryce just got like a plain black one. He wears like a Fitbit watch that's like a black band, so you wanted one to kind of go with that. And then I got this cute little balloon Mickey one, just because I probably will take the puck out and use a puck holder for my Apple Watch, but I just love the look of this. Okay, let me get it out. I just think it's so pretty. It's got like all these little Mickey balloons, and I really like the center. The puck that I would put onto my Apple Watch is like really cute. It's got a Mickey on it. I just love it. I'm so excited. What else comes in here? This is so exciting for me. I haven't done a Magic Band order in a long time. So a little information about Magic Band Plus, and then it does come with 2 chargers as well for the Magic Bands, because you can recharge these. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to get this on me at Disney World and watch it light up on all the rides and during the shows and the fireworks. I always felt really left out watching everyone's Magic Bands light up, but I just loved my classic Magic Band for so long. But time for the upgrade, because I know they are phasing them out. And look how cute. I'm so excited. Oh, this is the best mail. So yeah, that is all of my little haul. That's just one thing, but like I said, the most important thing, get you in your room, put your card on it, lights up. It's a lot of fun. Just makes the whole Disney experience feel super special and magical, and I'm in love with them. I think they're so cute. So with that being said, that is all I have for my 60 days until Disney planning video vlog. It's been so much fun filming this and being able to like talk through it with you guys, and hopefully I gave you guys some really good tips if you're starting to plan your Disney World trip, or you're looking forward to planning it, or if you just like want to watch a Disney video and get excited about Disney World with me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.